Hello students, welcome to Rishikul Online School. This is Module 2 of Vistas Chapter 4, The Enemy by Pearl S. Buck. In this module, we shall see the description of the story. Sadao had spent his childhood like an ordinary kid climbing trees and playing bare feet amongst the seas. His father had been a great inspirational force in his life who had taught his son that our future depends on how we build it. He had been wholly devoted to Sadao's education and had sent him to America at 22 to learn surgery and medicine. Sadao returned to Japan at the age of 30 and became famous as a scientist. Sadao's surgical skills were indispensable to Japan, for he was perfecting a discovery that would render wounds clean. As a result, when Japan went to war, Sadao was not sent out with the troops because the Japanese general had a condition for which he could have needed surgery and he trusted no one but Sadao. Sadao was watching mists hiding outlines of a little island near the shore. In a few minutes, fog would be wrapped about the house too. Then he would go into the room where Hana, his wife, would be waiting for him with two children. But at this moment, the door opened and Hana went to him. He had met Hana in America, but he had waited to fall in love with her until he was sure she was Japanese. His father would never have received her unless she had been pure in her race. He wondered often whom he would have married if he had not met Hana, and by what luck he had found her in the most casual way, by chance, literally, at an American professor's house. The professor and his wife had been kind people, anxious to do something for their few foreign students, and the students, though bored, had accepted this kindness. Sadao had often told Hana how nearly he had not gone to Professor's house that night. The rooms were so small, the food so bad, the professor's wife so voluble, but he had gone and there he had found Hana, a new student, and had felt he would love her if it were at all possible. On return from America, Sadao sought his father's permission for his marriage with Hana. The marriage was done in old Japanese style. The couple loved each other deeply. While standing in their veranda, the couple suddenly saw a man flung out of the ocean. Dr. Sadao and Hana, thinking him to be a fisherman, ran towards him. Upon reaching the spot, they saw that he was bleeding heavily. On a closer look, they saw that he was a white man with a gun wound on the right side of his lower back that had been reopened by the ocean rocks. Sadao and his wife were in a dilemma because Sadao had found the man's cap bearing the letters US Navy, which indicated that this injured man was perhaps a prisoner of war. The couple was patriotic to the core and duly considered Americans to be their enemy. But the human side in them did not allow them to toss back a wounded man into the wild rocky ocean. They thought about the servants who would not approve of harboring an enemy in the house. Knowing fully well that it would affect Sadao's reputation, they still decided to go ahead and treat the POW. The room in which they lodged the prisoner belonged to Sadao's late father. It had a perfect Japanese setting without chairs or a foreign bed, so the man was laid down on a deeply matted floor. Hana was hesitant to cover him with the silk quilt as he was very dirty. She decided to ask Yumi, the nanny, to wash him. Sadao decided to call the other servant. He checked the man's pulse and heartbeat, which was faint, and decided that he would have to operate him immediately. Hana went to the nursery and asked Yumi to follow her. The two servants were frightened at what Sadao had just told them. The gardener, being an old superstitious man, warned them that they should not try to help the enemy. Yumi, upon seeing the dirty white man, refused to wash him, so Hana went ahead to do the cleaning herself. Sadao entered the room with surgical equipments and told Hana that she would have to give the anesthetics if need arose. Hana choked on seeing all the blood and ran out to vomit. She soon returned and followed her husband's directions, who told her to saturate the cotton with the anesthetic and hold it near the nostrils of the patient. At this juncture, she recalled the stories about the sufferings of prisoners and also what she had read in newspapers about the glorification of Japanese army. At the same time, she also recalled having read that the Japanese General Takima was a wife beater. Sadao found the bullet near the kidney of the injured soldier and removed it. Hana had to serve him herself because her servants refused to help an enemy. On the seventh day after having taken in the POW by the Sadaos, the servants of their household decided to leave as a mark of protest for giving shelter to an enemy. But Sadao, even though accepting that the American was his enemy, refused to turn his patient away because he had been trained to save lives. However, the servants left with their belongings and Hana took upon herself all the chores of the household. In the afternoon on the same day, a messenger came. Terrified, Hana ran to Sadao thinking that the servant must have disclosed the information about the POW, but the messenger had actually come to fetch Sadao to treat the general who was in pain. Seeing Hana in distress, Sadao decided to get rid of the prisoner as soon as possible. During his meeting with the general, Dr. Sadao disclosed everything about the POW. But since Sadao was indispensable to the general and the doctor's possible arrest for harboring an enemy would affect him as well, he told Sadao that he would send his private assassins at night who would silently kill the prisoner and dispose of the body. Sadao thought it best not to scare Hana by telling her about the plan. So he went to check on the boy who was out of bed. Tom thanked Sadao for saving his life. Sadao's conscience pricked him and he could not sleep for 3 nights, anticipating the arrival of assassins. Unable to take it anymore, he devised a plan for Tom's escape. He revealed to Tom that the authorities knew of his presence in his house and that he would give him his boat, which could be rowed at night to an uninhabited, submerged and unprotected island nearby. He warned him not to take help from anyone except a Korean fishing boat. When night approached, Sadao dragged his boat to the shore, put food, bottled water and 2 quilts in it. He did not let Hana know anything about the escape plan. He checked Tom's health and status and gave him his own flashlight, asking to signal 2 flashes at the instant the sun dropped over the horizon. He warned him against using fire as it could be spotted easily. He dressed him up in Japanese clothes and tied a black cloth about his blond head. The American shook his hand warmly and rode away. Sadao then went to the general and after operating upon him informed that the prisoner had escaped. The general said that he had been unwell and had not been able to think about anything other than his health. Hence, he had forgotten to send his assassins. Both the men decided to keep the secret. That night, Sadao was sure that the American had been saved. Meanwhile, the servants returned to the Sadao household and life became normal. But Dr. Sadao kept thinking about all the Americans he knew, Professor, his wife, his old anatomy teacher who taught him so much, his landlady who gave him shelter and nursed him through influenza despite the prejudice against Japanese in America. Remembering the young tortured prisoner, Sadao wondered why he had been unable to kill him. This is the end of the story. Hope you understood it well. Thank you very much.